Hello again, this is BGFH. Welcome back to Illegally Cited, and we're continuing our trek through the completed version of my Minecraft Crater Lake Tower City. So far I've shown you the park and the overall outside and streets of the city. I've shown you City Hall over there in the middle, and I've also shown you the apartment complexes in the last video. So I would say out of all the buildings, the apartment complexes are probably the most bland, or at least the most repetitious of them all. And second to that, probably the school, but I've tried to mix things up a little bit there too. So we walk in the front door of the school, and this building I have a central hallway with the staircase just going up floor to floor. And you notice that also in the last video I touched on like the whole ceilings and just adding little amounts of detail. These hallways are another area where I didn't actually add some extra dimension to the ceilings. When I went into the rooms, I did. So it's really easy to see just how much that adds. So you go from there to there. So you get the idea there. But you walk in, you've got your little office here, little principal's office or something there. You've got a little desk. Maybe if people get in trouble, you get sent to the principal's office. Maybe you got to do a little bit of work in there. Here you got another connected office, another little principal's office, little desk there. Whatever that's going to be. This is probably more like a reception kind of front office, and then this is more the grade school principal's office right here on this side that just connects down the hallway here. And when you walk in from the left, on the left of the hallway, when you walk in, you have your first set of classrooms. So this is your kind of kindergarten classroom. You've got your green blackboard, your old green style blackboard there, your teacher's desk, and a whole bunch of student desks. And just some nice uniform school lighting there. And since these are more, lower, like kindergarten, first grade, that kind of thing, those floors tend to be more bright colors because they do a lot of that in the lower grades, a lot more primary colors, a lot more bright colors, that kind of thing. So here's another room. This one is actually probably more kindergarten versus first grade or something like that. You've got your teacher's desk, you've got some chairs and desks around the outside, but then you have, okay, what are you hovering up there for? Go away. Then you have your little place where, like you would sit down in the middle, you would sit in a circle and maybe have story time or, whatever you would do, but we've made room for that kind of thing in this particular classroom. Okay, and down this hallway we just got a little, just a little back area here for people to kind of go outside and catch a breather. Maybe teachers can take a break out here or something. Nothing too special, but I will say that this school does not have a cafeteria in it. They actually go next door to the sports building, which I will be showing you in the next video. So another thing, because you're doing these towers and they only have so much room in the city and so much room in each tower, you start kind of thinking about, I was going to put a cafeteria, I was going to put some of these things in there, but I was talking with Jawbreaker again about it, and we're kind of running through things, and one of his comments was, well, you really don't have to replicate all of that. Oh, I actually didn't put the ceilings in here. I actually didn't. I swear I did all these roofs. Did some weird save thing not happen? Because I swear to God, even these middle hallways, I wonder at one time, I swear I fixed these. But no, some of these are not done. So these actually could be fixed. Ugh, that's some tedious work. But I might go back and do it. Bummer. Well, good to know, I guess. But he said, we're talking, and one of his comments was, well, yeah, you can, why replicate every little thing in every building? Because there's only so much space to work with. And you're in such a small space anyway in this little crater city that you don't have to walk very far. And I'm like, you're right. And especially since the sports building is right nearby and the way I have the food thing set up there, it would be perfect. So I share some of the sports things for the school there. They can do that next door for Phi Ed. They can do the cafeteria and that. So I walked you through a couple of classrooms. This is more of like a little grade school library, just kind of a different room. Little meeting room for, meetings with parents or teacher meetings for grade school teacher meetings here. And it looks like, at least as far as that room across the hall where I missed the ceiling part there, this room, it just looks like I may have, doing all this, repetition, I may have just overlooked it. And here's another little classroom. So this one doesn't have any desks or anything. This one maybe could be like a reading room or maybe like a music room where people just sit, and they sing songs or whatever, or whatever you want to use it for. It's just a little simpler that way. And on the left side, we've got another general classroom. Thankfully, the ceiling is good in this one, so I've only missed one room so far. Yeah, see, now these are also updated. How did that get screwed up? Because the first floor, when I go back down the building, there's a little error there I gotta fix. So like I said, you look at this stuff so long and so many times, it's just like proofreading something. People say that you should have somebody else proofread something that you've written, because you've seen it so many times, you think it's perfect, and you don't notice the obvious little things that are wrong with it. And just going back and having not looked at it for a few months, I'm noticing a couple things here that, oops, I missed. So we got some more classrooms, just, different configurations, different number of desks, different color carpeting. But when I go back down, like I said, I'm just going to have to pay attention to these roofs and see which one of these hallways, because I know the bottom floor didn't have the cutout ceilings. That does, so that's just another little simple one there. Simple classroom. And again, like I said, just like the apartments, there's only so much you can do with a typical regular classroom. I have done a few different things. There are a few different rooms that, for like the chemistry room or the science room. There's a music room for like the high school band and choir that I made differently, that I think those turned out really well. But again, a blackboard, a bunch of desks, maybe a teacher's desk, there's not a lot you can do. Things are going to look the same. You go into any classroom, you go to any school, probably not going to look all that much different. Not all that exciting. So now we're kind of getting more up to so here, the funny thing about this, if you had a building like this, you would probably have more bathrooms, but you actually have to go up a few flights of stairs to get to a major bathroom. I think there are bathrooms maybe on 2 floors in this building. So, yeah, you really have to need to go. You got your men and women's bathroom on this side here, or boys and girls bathrooms. And you do have, there's another big room here. So now we're starting to get into the more high school style stuff. We got a lot more books there. I didn't really assign these rooms any sort of like topic or anything. That's what they are. Here is the choir room that I was talking about, or the band and choir room. We got a wooden floor here. We got some stuff like for our instruments. Maybe they can put them away in these chests. Whatever like that. You've got a whole bunch of places for them to sit and play or sit and sing. And you've got your conductor, your little podium up here. You can conduct or do your class. And then on either side, you've got, I kind of have it for like speakers or whatever, but, for your music to come out of there. So, just a little minor addition. And just to make it look kind of cool, like I said, I kind of played with the drop floor here, and then each speaker on its own little higher level. Like I said, just something to break up the monotony of the standard classroom look a little bit. Okay, so those are the bathrooms. And I figured that without, we've got one other classroom on this floor over here, but it's probably good to have, if you're having a lot of music and all, that kind of thing in this one, you probably don't want to have a lot of actually quiet classrooms on this floor because it'll drive the other classes crazy. So here's your little library. You got a small school library here, not really a reception or anything, but just, a small library for that. Keep walking around. Another classroom, yada yada. Pretty standard stuff. What do we got here? Another big classroom. The corner ones here are usually a little bigger. A few more bookcases and things over there. Another classroom. Again, pretty standard. Kind of breeze through some of these. I think this floor maybe will have... Is this where the chemistry stuff is? Yeah, because we don't have that door by the stairs like we usually do. So, I mean, even in the hallways, like I said, I follow the same kind of template. I've got this blue and white kind of carpeted and iron, I think, is what I use for the floor. Iron and blue carpeting kind of color scheme there. Another classroom, just different. Like I said, I just vary up the different color schemes for the carpets, but other than that, it's pretty much the same. But the important thing is, like I said, even though it's sort of monotonous, it's sort of detailed, it's still detailed, and it's still like fully completed. Now this is the chemistry room. When I built this one, I was actually really into. I was just getting started. I remember when I built this because I was just getting started into Breaking Bad, and I remember the way our science room was in high school. You've got these tables here, you got these big old ginormous sinks in the middle, and you have that look. And if I remember correctly, the floor in the Breaking Bad science classroom in the first couple of seasons, they were blue, I believe, or it had a blue look. So I thought, well, that's a nice kind of way to... And you want it to have the hard floor, not something carpeted, because if people spill chemicals or whatever, you really don't want to have carpeting and burn it in there or whatever. So here you've got actually that should be like a locked door, but this is where all your sciencey things are. Your chemical closet would be. So like I said, I took some of the inspiration from my school and from the Breaking Bad classroom that Walter taught in. Got some more sinks and stuff like that back here. I don't know. I could probably add another something or on one of these walls here, but that is our science room. Okay, I went through that. Let's go up one more, and here's one thing I could do really quickly, and I'll show you, just like I said, how easy it is. Let me bring up my interface here. I'm going to grab these stairs. So it's like little tweaks like this. At the time, when I built this for the first time, we didn't have upside down stairs. But now, to make things... Whoa, hold on. I didn't do that right. Oh, okay, I'm going to have to do a half slab there. In that middle one, because just the way that it works to make the pattern work. But I can do that, and so when I add a half slab, it's going to look a lot more natural, a lot more, like, you can't do diagonals, so you kind of have to use staircases. But there you go. If I put that half slab, it'll look a lot more natural than... This looks cool, but look at how blocky it is. It's just, you've got these solid one, whole blocks going up and down, which look okay, but I think this looks way better and just like a more uniform diagonal to it. So that's something that I can change later. So yes, there are in fact a few tweaks that I could do to my school building. And again, I'm not going to Ah, shoot. Okay, there's the gravel. Okay, so let's, you know what, let's, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, let's see, 3. Let's steal one of these half slabs. Put you there. So this is just our kind of high school principal's office here. Or a office, probably the high school principal or something like that. Remember I said I needed a half slab, so let's go back up here. Yoink. Looks way better. I think that looks way better than the rest of these. So I'll go back and do that later. But just to show you the kind of little minor tweaks and edits that I can do to make things look even better. Alright, so here we are looking at just another basic classroom. And here we go, another classroom, not too big a deal here. And we got a floating piece of carpet again that I missed before. And one more little classroom sort of thing without any desks, just a lot of, you know, whatever. So, like I said, that is the school building. You notice that, you know, like I said, most schools, they have a gymnasium, they have, some of them have a pool, they have a cafeteria, obviously, they would have a lot of other different things. But as you're going to see in the next video, some of that stuff is going to carry over, and because it's right next door, you know, like Jawbreaker said, why duplicate it? It really doesn't make sense to do that. So we're going to walk down to the very bottom floor again and wrap up this video. But before I wrap it up, there's one thing outside that I didn't show you that relates more to the school. Okay, so there are at least two. We got this floor and this floor. Okay, so there's 2 floors where apparently I forgot the ceiling, apparently, where I forgot to do the accented ceiling. There was one classroom on the left side of the hallway, a couple floors up, that I need to fix, and I need to maybe make some changes to that, make a couple tweaks to that roof that I did on that top floor. Other than that, the school is looking pretty good. And it's essentially in its final form, just a couple oddball tweaks that I completely overlooked. But if I walk over on the other side of these hedges, I made the youngins a little playground. I had some extra space outside here. It's not a big one. I didn't have a whole lot of space to work with, but, you know, just a few things out there. They got a little sand pit here they can kind of play in. Made some monkey bars here out of some wood fences, just kind of strung them together. It looks like monkey bars, except for the top part looks a little goofy, but it definitely makes sense. This is supposed to be like a little seesaw, a little teeter-totter kind of thing. You know, it's not going to move, but you can kind of tell essentially by context what it is. And again, you can't do flat slanted edges, so... But this is our slide. So, climb up the ladder. We got our little slide there. So there you go. You got your little playground for the kiddies. And that wraps up our school video. So I'm going to wrap this video up here. I'm going to walk in front of the next door building, which is our Sports and Recreation Center. And I will talk to you guys again in the next video. Hope you guys are enjoying it so far. And again, like I said, I promise you things are just going to get better. So with that, I will wrap it up here and talk to you guys again shortly.